All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Recovery Scene. I'm your host, Leslie. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and of course, share, whether you're watching us on the YouTube or on the live. Tonight's guest this is so awesome. You guys know that there are some guests where it's like, the two of us try so hard to make this happen, and one thing or another or whatever keeps getting in the way. And even tonight, when we were trying to set this up, it was like all of a sudden my camera's just like, no, I've worked the past 5 days, but I just don't feel like working today, So, but we got that done, and there might be some allergies happening and whatever. But I finally have Carl. We have Carl on the show. We've been trying to put this together for what, months?
Yes.
At this point. So you guys, seriously, sorry about my sniffing.
Shadiness on my side.
What?
There was shadiness on my side.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and I'll probably mute myself while you're talking for a little bit, just because I'm so sniffly. It's horrible. But anyway, so everybody, Carl's here, who's going to tell a story. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for being on the show and putting up with all of the crap it took to make this happen. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right. So Carl, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to let you take it away and, just give us a little background about yourself and how everything happened and how you got into recovery and, your story, basically.
Hi, well, in a nutshell, West Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm just playing. I am from West Philadelphia, though. Born and raised, obviously. Grew up in a lot of poverty. I mean, where do I start? The story goes way back. It goes back even further. But so we'll start as far as I can remember. Grew up in a impoverished neighborhood. Learned the ropes, the tricks of the trades, of the wrong sides of the track, so to speak. Early life. And at a very early age, I learned manipulation and how to do it. And the direct reason for that was because of my parents being crackheads. And just learned behavior, how they acted around me, and when they wanted to get high and get me out of their hair, they would give me anything I want. Money for my favorite food. My friend lived literally right next 100 over, a block away, so I could just go there and hang out, and they just give me whatever I wanted. And being that young and seeing them act and knowing and having that gut feeling something was wrong, but you didn't know what because of immaturity.
Right. But you didn't know any better, or any different, really.
I learned how to play on that really, really easily, very fast. And it man. All right, never did a podcast before, so not stage fright. I'm just trying to give you a better perspective on.
Right. So you really didn't have, excuse my coughing, by the way, everybody, you really didn't have an example of different, so it's like, even though maybe, because I believe that we're all born with this innate sense of right and wrong, maybe some less than others, but we've all got it. And so something says, this isn't right. So, and we all know that it absolutely is possible to be passed down. That addiction, it is possible that it's up in the air, whether it's learned behavior or genetics. But the point is, either way, it can be passed down onto children. So of course you're going to learn to manipulate that situation, and that's going to help you in future manipulation later, when you have to start dealing with your own addiction. So when did you actually start experimenting or whatever yourself?
Okay, so as far as experimentation goes, I would have to say my first legitimate drug was nicotine. I was probably about, I was young. I want to say about 12 or 13. And I was smoking a cigarette here, smoking a cigarette there, and I noticed I get this little fuzzy feeling in my head, and I'm like, ooh, okay, all right, that's different. And by that time, by 13, 14, my parents were in and out of rehab. They were
Mhm.
both in my life, loved me very much, but not the greatest, but not the worst of people. You know what I mean? And them being pretty absent the older I got in life, I started to find my own way. And once I started dabbling in drugs, I realized I just fell in love with it like completely.
Right.
And
Now, was that through school with friends, or how did you start
all
that?
of the above, school,
Mm,
friends, neighborhood, it was just all around me, like 24/7. And it was, innocent at first. It was just started out a little pot here, a little pot there. It just progressed, snowball effect, just
mhm.
progressed, just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I started dabbling in other things. And doing this for years and years, I brought this into a marriage. And growing up looking after myself my whole life, it was always me being number one. And I took that mentality 10 years into marriage. And hindsight being 2020 and all that, looking back, and I've been having these mental episodes. I might jump around a little bit, stop me and get me back on track if I need.
Okay, no problem.
But I've been having these mental episodes and breakdowns. And basically it's like due to the fact of like taking accountability for like all of the damage that I've done throughout my addiction.
Hmm.
And I've always considered myself a different kind of addict because like I was always able to just like stop whenever stuff got sketchy, like just stop like months at a time here and there, like usually no more than like 4 to 6 months, I would say. um Sometimes it would be just laziness, not wanting to go get it.
Right.
Most of the fact was I was just a functioning addict. No matter what I did, I was just functioning. I can manipulate people, keep people in certain corners and make them think I'm their best friend and get what I want from them, and then have them apologizing to me for stuff that I did to them. And
Right.
it was just like, huh?
Oh, I just said right.
Oh, okay. I thought you said like. All right. Yeah. So I would, man, I was just a bad person, really. Like not like physically towards people, but yeah, just the way I would handle situations and talk to people. Recently, with these mental breakdowns, I wasn't realizing when I was saying one thing, meaning something totally different. People will look at me funny, like, "Hey, what's going on? Why you say that to me?" And me having that one man pack mentality and just got to look after myself. I always felt attacked when somebody called me on my own bullshit. So I would go into defense mode, and if I got really hurt, the people I love around me, I want them to hurt as much as I did. So I would say things to them, like mean things, and it would just hurt them. And the fact that I didn't even realize I was doing that, and then coming to that realization, that's where the mental episodes started happening. And then I went through a period of time where like it was just like I'm always scatterbrained. I'm all over the place. But this level of scatterbrain was like astronomical. Like I
Now,
couldn't do
how old were you at this point when this is happening?
mental episodes.
Hmm.
That was very recent. That was like the last like couple months.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason why is because like I got a great woman in my corner. Like I really do. I have a really great woman in my corner, and I always said it takes someone special to marry somebody like me. And she stuck by me through thick and thin, like a real marriage is supposed to be. And I just lied to her over and over, and these lies that I would make, most of them were harmful to our marriage and our growth as a couple. But there was even a whole bunch of lies that just didn't have anything to do with us, wouldn't cause us any harm, wouldn't cause us any good. Just make up stuff, just an habitual liar for no reason.
Right, like habit.
Yeah, it was just habit. I would just do it and not realize I was doing it. And I'm doing it for years and years and years. And then I see you sneezing. Doing that for years and years and years. It was just second nature. Hey, buddy. Hey, you gotta go out, buddy. I'm on a meeting.
Okay, I got 4.
Oh, you got 4. Oh,
So-
you got your place locked up like Fort Knox. It's quiet around here. But yeah. So back on track. Big kid, he got me all off topic. Scatterbrain all over the place. Sneezing again.
I know. At least I have it muted when it's happening, though.
I lost my train of thought. I got brain farts.
Okay, so let's start around high school. So
Okay.
when you're in high school, how old were you when you started on your addiction?
Actually on it, like rampaging addiction was after high school. I would say like when it started to get close is right around the age, like right around the grade where I dropped out at around 10th grade. After that, I was way too cool for school. I was just
Right.
yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm out. And that's where it really took off as being an individual on my own, figuring out the streets and doing everything I had to do to take care of myself. And I mean, if you ever read the book Go Ask Alice, yeah, it was like a path like that. But like
Okay.
it was crazy. It was crazy the situations I put myself in, and this pretentious would be the wrong word to use, but this invincibility I felt I had, to this imperviousness I had toward drugs. Like, have a high tolerance, I can do abnormal amounts and still stand. I kind of wore like a badge of honor. I was just like, just the whole twisted sense of thinking. And but they say kids are dumb like that, right? They're invincible and impervious to death and all that, and you know, you get older and you have kids and you get married, and that perspective changes a lot. For some it don't. For me, I felt like it was like too late. I mean, I'm still here. She's still kicking me in the head when she needs to. She's a good
Right.
woman.
Now, is this the same woman that you've been married to?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about I guess getting married in active addiction. You know, I'm assuming that I don't know I'm assuming she does not use.
No, she doesn't.
And did you keep it from her at the beginning, or?
Well, she knew I was a nefarious character in the beginning, and she always let me know if I was going to be with her, I need to you know, get my shit together. And she made that very well known. She's a woman that gets what she wants, and she would tell you directly what she wants. And I felt like I could give that to her. I really did, honestly. So, you know, we chose to enter into this. And it was just a web of deception the whole time. Literally. It really was. The love was real between me and her. And I think that's the one reason why she stayed. Because she always knew when I said I loved her that I loved her. And it just bringing that into a marriage, man. Like she had this way of just knowing when I was off, just knowing when I was off, and she called me out on it.
Yeah, because we think we're masters at hiding it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, and
Oh, not.
I'm pretty good, like better than most, honestly. I told my job this, that I was addicted to meth, and I even told my wife after she went through my phone, found out that I did a gram with somebody,
Mhm.
and I couldn't perform right, and that's the only reason why things didn't go down.
Gotcha.
From this phone, like I can run it down, like I can run it down, but don't need to get in on it. She can always tell when I'm acting off, and I would tell, I would think of these lies on the fly and get everything off of the burner. Everything's cool, everything gets good, and then it gets toxic. Then it gets good, then it gets toxic. It's repetition, and it's just bad repetition over and over and over. And I wouldn't notice when I'm getting caught up in these lies. I would try to go down in flames with it, and every time I just didn't want to do it no more. I meant that. I really did mean it, and I just never could deliver on it, except for like the past like 8 months, almost 9 now, almost 9 months.
That's awesome.
Out of I'll be 38 in March. Out of almost 38 years of living, I did almost nothing but lie to everyone I loved in my entire life. And when she threatened to leave, it opened up this doorway. And I knew how to take care of myself as an individual in a legal way. But doing something as simple as balancing a checkbook was like a tedious task for me. Nobody
Right.
uses the checkbook no more. You can do it all online. Like you can do everything like with technology. And it's just like the little things that a grown man or a grown woman should know, life skills. That hit me hard. Everything hit me really hard. And just like loving my kids the way I do, how she always told me I'm a good dad, and my willingness to just not be around any of the family.
Right.
I was present, but I wasn't. And it didn't sit right with me after like I don't, it was like the Matrix, you sitting there living a life that's not real, and then you wake up in this tube with grown man, lights flashing and everything, and
Right. And nobody
what you
taught me how to do any of this crap.
and it's just like, how am I even alive this long?
Right.
But you know, there's a reason. It's because I'm not done yet. I'm done with drugs, but I'm not done being an actual person, a good person. And that's all I want to be. Like everybody knows I'm good, but the actions always contradicted it greatly, like great on a big scale. And I don't know, everybody is just like, it's something about him. Like he's such a charismatic character. He's not a bad guy. But
But it was, it was pretty obvious you weren't living up to your full potential.
yeah, she always saw that potential in me that I never thought existed, ever. Like just ever. And you mentioned earlier about us trying to set this up. And I was ducking you because I noticed like I took the sobriety so literal, like, and everybody like got this thing where like, somebody's hurting. The line is open. Send a video chat if you want, send a voice chat if you want. Get that off your chest because you don't need to carry that. And I had a couple people tell me, yo, you stopped me from killing myself. Yo, like you're so awesome. And I'm just like, yo, I am not somebody you should really look up to like that. Like so like it kind of scared me. And then like you're
I
not
have
the
heard
first.
that before. A lot of us say that. A lot because we're so used to being the one that people are looking down on. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why on earth would you Why? How am I a role model? You know?
And it's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And it scared me. Like, cause like, you're not the only person that asked me for a podcast. And I was just like, yo, why are people reaching out to me? I'm like freaking out. Now, I'm not a shy person at all. Say anything, get naked on camera, don't matter. I'm just like a spontaneous dude, but that scared the hell out of me. Like,
Right. And I mean, Carl, as much as I want views, we'll keep our clothes on.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. We don't need to damage nobody's retina. We don't need to damage nobody.
But yeah, no, I think the two real common themes of the people that I interview, one was never comfortable in my own skin. Like, I didn't really know who I was. I was never comfortable being me. There really was no me. Like, I was just kind of whoever I was hanging out with, and the second one is like this self-defeating, self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I mean, just the fact that you've been able to maintain a marriage, and a loving marriage is, really a credit. And it's amazing because, my husband and I are also one of those rare couples, because I was in active addiction. He's a normie. He's never even smoked a cigarette, actually. And, it's almost like we feel like we don't deserve this. We don't deserve good things. And then we get into recovery and life starts changing and good things start happening. And it really freaks us out.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, we got a whole house together. We got 2 kids, got 3 cars. It's like, where did this come from? And just always felt like I didn't, like you said, I just didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? And I don't feel that way anymore. She sees the way I act and how I am now, and it's different than it's been the 10 years. And like you said, not being comfortable in your own skin, that's the perfect example. Like, I didn't even know who I was. Like, I didn't know who I was. I asked her something. I asked her what was her favorite color, and I asked her this a couple months ago. And she told me turquoise. Now, 10 years of marriage, I'm sure I had to have heard her say that. There's no possible way. I swear to God, when she told me that, that was the first time I ever heard it. And there's a lot of first time things that I know I've heard already that already hit me. Oh, my big beast is coming.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have anything specific that I can really point out at the moment, but even now, my husband will say, "I told you that. I told you that. When did you tell me that? When did you never told me that? I never knew that." And it's like, yeah, you did.
All the time. She's so
Come
on, you're too big.
So what? So you're almost 9 months. That's awesome. What was your turning point? Because I'm going to put it like this, just to put it in context, because I mean, the marriage has lasted this long with you in addiction. So what was the turning point where it was like, all right, this has to stop for real?
The woman in my life does not deserve it. My kids don't deserve it. And I'm too damn old for this, man. Like, I got no more run. I got no more runs in me. I don't. I don't even want to work. It's more of a job trying to stay high than it is actually maintaining a job.
It really is. It's hard work trying to maintain a habit. It is.
They think stress is a big killer. That's purpose. That's stress on purpose. You're just stressing yourself out doing that, killing yourself. Just
right. But there was no like event that happened where she was like, all right, look.
Yeah, she said, yeah, this is the last straw. I will pack them babies up, go to Texas. That scared me to death.
Now, was that this last time that you found out about?
Say it again.
Was that this last time that she found out about with the meth?
Yeah.
She was like,
That was the
We're not.
pivotal turning point in the drug use and ceasing to exist. Keep it very close, only for awareness. I It's a lane that travels adjacent. Like I don't ride in that lane no more. And like it's crazy. Like I've heard stories where there's one in particular, dude, he had to lose his family, like the entire family, for him to stop.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. A
Like
lot.
he had to, and he was just like he beat himself up for years about it too.
Hmm.
And he was just like, yo, no matter what, I would get things cool just to mess it up again. And then he was like, once they were gone and that's it, that was it. He was like, that's what I needed. It's like, as cruel as that sounds, that's what he needed to straighten out. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, like there's always somebody doing worse.
Oh, always, always. I remember I knew a young lady, and this had to be so heartbreaking because she told me about how her children were taken away, and they were put into foster care, and eventually she lost her rights, and she ended up, I can't remember how this happened, but a couple of years later, she was living next door to the family that had her kids.
Oh, wow.
And she could look out the window and she could see him. It was either next door or behind, somehow, but she could see the backyard wherever she was. And just because I have kids, and I had kids at that time, they were really little. And just the gut-wrenching thought of my kids being right there.
Yeah.
And I can't say a word. Can't have any contact. Can't.
Yep.
That really just, my heart broke for that woman, and yeah, it's sadly all too common, so I'm really glad that you were like, you know what, this is so not worth it. And it's good to, that's another thing I've heard before, like, I don't have another one in me, the next one's going to kill me,
Yeah, it's commonly said.
Yeah. And I mean, because think about it like this, if our family leaves, they're still alive.
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely throw me off of the rails. I'm not a suicidal person, but that would be a downward spiral to work this hard to build this up to what this is.
Right. But if we do that one more run that isn't in us,
yeah,
we're dead.
Yeah, you're playing with dangerous fire.
Yes.
You're playing lava.
Yeah, it's not just fire. You're right. It's the floor is lava in real life.
Glide past all the fire and go straight to lava, because that's
right. Exactly. So since you've been well, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Were there other times in your addiction besides now, where you were like, that's it, I'm done?
No, never.
So this is the first time that you were like, for real, done.
Like I said, when I stopped before, it was surely because, like, I had to, just to keep things cool right now, or if I'm on the radar, just keep it cool for as long as you have to. And it was never really an issue, which is why I also kind of say, like, it was always my choice to begin with, like, to pick it up or to stop it. Like, the addiction is a very prevalent thing because you want more, and I have an addictive personality, but ultimately I made the choice to start it and stop far too late, but not too late. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
too late is when the universe chooses for you. Yeah. So now that you're in recovery, so the past 9 months, how has, aside from being invited on podcasts, how has your life changed or improved or gotten harder even?
It's gotten equal. Honestly, harder is not as hard as I thought it would be, but I'm still very resistant to change. Like um me, independency, man. I don't want to think about the fact that I might have to live without the woman I love by myself and share our kids. But the way I view that is a very selfish way. I don't have to because that's my woman. She should stick by me no matter what. And I can totally see the dick in me fighting the good. Keep that woman by your side. She loves you. You can do whatever you want. You can be you. She'll love you for you, but she'll always. And no,
Now, how do you keep him at bay?
I keep
Because
him.
there are other guys that I have talked to who battle with that inner manipulative jerk. And I mean, not just guys, but it just recently happens to be guys. That inner manipulative jerk and the loving, genuinely, cares for this woman and wants to be a good guy. So how do you keep the other one at bay?
By keeping them very close to me and talking to them, writing them down in that book. Hold up, 1 second.
Bet she's going to get the book.
Right here. Yeah, as stuff gets tough, I don't write in it as like the first 3-4 months, man. I just loaded this book up. It's just pages, and then I kind of stop. And I'm still writing in it, but I'm slowing down now. I'm starting to put positive goals in with the story. Like it's a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. The very beginning, the struggle up until now, separation, and keeping that dude at bay. Because I get angry and I'm not gonna beat my woman, but I can twist some words up. I'm not gonna beat my kids, but I can twist some words up. And I don't nah. I found out recently that since I don't want to do drugs, I don't need drugs. My kids, they balance me out pretty good. And they've been seeing a lot of, my daughter in particular I see a lot of me in her. And I've also taught her for like damn near 10 years now. Should be 10 years, October 20th.
Oh, wow.
She's been seeing this behavior since birth. So now I'm trying to break her up, and she's getting a lot better because I'm talking to her, I'm spending time with her, I'm engaging her with activities and stuff. And it's a struggle still. It's a real struggle. And that is another thing that makes me not, I can't turn back now. I can't. Because if I lose them, like, what was all of this for? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. It sounds they're definitely getting old enough to notice.
Yeah, it really would be a waste. All of that time, whether bad or good, that's a waste when it all went this long just to be done.
Right.
And I can't go out like that. I got to be the best version of myself.
Right. Now, what else has changed being in recovery for you?
I'm starting to make friends with lists, writing important things down and staying consistent. That is a very big change for me. Staying consistent in a positive way like this. Right now, I'm trying to take on the role of running a household, and I think very highly of women, but I also kept a very 1950s vibe undertone. Like, if she tells me she wants me to breadwinner, that means she wants to be at the house. So if she wants to be at the house, she's going to be taking care of the kids. That is all. That is a hard job, and it's a thankless job. Nobody ever thanks their mother or their woman in their life for doing all the stuff that nobody would do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Welcome,
somebody
right?
figured it out and it comes out to something like at the bottom end, a stay-at-home mother with all the duties that she has would earn around $80,000 starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, make that even six figures. This woman did this for years.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she'd be up to six figures now because she just started at 80 grand.
Yeah. So like, she gives me her little she gives me her little strategies of how she was working it out. And it works. You know what I mean? Like it does. And it's just like I just gotta get out of my own way. You know, as addicts, that's what we do. We're good at it. We get in our own way all the time.
Exactly.
And I'm just not trying to do that no more. You know what I mean? And also things aren't working as fast as I want because I'm an Aries and I want what I want and I want it now. So like, you know, everything has to be learned, everything has to take time. It's a process. And very impatient.
Yeah, well, I think that comes along with addictive personality. It's so funny because
Yes.
it's not just about wanting more, it's I want it yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for it,
Mhm.
you know? And my husband is a thinker
Mhm.
and I'm a let's just do it. So it actually balances that because I keep him from like never making a move and he keeps me from like buying the wind chime store that's going out of business so that we can sell wind chimes, you know, or whatever. So it all works out. That true story, by the way.
Hey, I hear you.
Like,
I
what kind
want
of jerk doesn't like wind chimes? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We're very impatient people.
like so impatient. I mean, she's impatient too, but like it's like on a normal level. I'm like, I'm extra super hyper turned up.
Right. Volume at, 19.
Max, and it's just like, man, that's too much effort. I'm getting older. I'm trying to get away from most effort. So I just gotta work a little harder to get to that end game. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, what do you do to maintain your sobriety, to maintain your clean time?
Um, it's funny. Actually keeping the damn cars spotless. And now I'm working on getting the house in order with that now. So far it's like day number 1, 2 with the kitchen, and it's still great. But consistency. I gotta keep this up. Next, I'm gonna work on more of the basement tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All while still like taking on the life stresses that come because I need to get back to work as well. So
Right, right.
I got a contingency plan for that, which I'll put in effect tomorrow. You know, for me, I can do stuff, but so does the rest of America, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's working. I'm keeping a very optimistic view, whereas just a few months back, or just before the mental breaks, man, I just even though I was clean, I was still ready to lie, man.
Right. Oh, that's right. At the beginning, you kind of jumped ahead, but I think we're there now. You were telling us about now explain these. What do you when you say mental breaks, what do you mean? What's been happening?
God, it was so crazy. I still have the anxiety, but oh man. Yeah. Okay, so like I like to keep the truth just that, the truth. What I wasn't doing was admitting truths that was like really things that I didn't see or believe.
Mm-hmm.
And once I put two and two together and sit and get different perspectives and I see what everyone is saying is right, it started making me feel like I was literally going insane. Like literally going insane. I've reached out to a couple of addicts and my uncles in particular, and I said, yeah, why is it so easy to like stop drugs, but I can't stop lying, dude? And
Yeah.
they're like, because
Yeah.
you're dealing with stuff without drugs. And I said, oh, okay. So they're like, oh, you think about it, it's not easy quitting. Because that's how I cope. That's how I managed everything.
Right.
Numb it all out, smooth things over. And then when the ground re-breaks over winter, get the construction crew to repave it over summer.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to put it.
That's
Right.
exactly what I did over and over and over again. And being able to want to see that, recognize it, accept it, and then try to shift that in a way opposite direction of what that is, which is positive. Yeah, man, that it was a shocker for me that, like, yeah, that was the catalyst in all of that. So like people would ask me things and I would start to stutter. And I would to the point where I would say a word, try to say a word, something totally different would come out, or I couldn't even speak at all. And that feeling felt like I took a class and it was one teacher in the class, one student, me, and he taught me how to forget the English language.
Huh.
Taught me how to forget how to speak. That's the only perfect example I can give you to what that felt like mentally. Because like you would ask me something, and if it was like something that I'm ready to lie about, and I'm already in the process of rewiring myself not to lie, I would get so choked up that when I would speak, I can give you a quick rundown of what it looked like. I would go like this, and I would go. And then things would get super loud, and I had to like kind of cower away, shut completely down. And then intense anxiety would happen, where her heart feels like it's about to explode. Deep breaths. You know, my dog, when she came up, how she was licking me, it felt like somebody was sticking needles in my skin when she did that. So yeah, that I ain't like that. I didn't like that.
Yeah. It's almost like the habit of lying is so strong.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how to talk without.
I just didn't know. So what I started doing, I started what I call leaving breadcrumbs for myself. I'll put myself in these situations that would force me to lie after everybody knew what to look for. And it helped. And I was talking to a good friend of mine's too. And he was giving me a lot of cool strategies on how to combat this, which also confirmed my awesome woman's point. Like I was getting wrapped up over the notion that I could possibly need a narcotic drug to not have these mental breaks, and that was bothering me. Right. And then I found out you could take medicine that'll stabilize you, and there's no habit forming stuff in it. I didn't know that was a real thing ever. I felt like that level of crazy yielded something very strong, and that something very strong would probably be something that I like, which would then conflict with my goal.
Right.
So I overthought and didn't think enough about what was important.
Right. Now, have they kind of calmed down now?
Yeah, I'm still there a little. It's not big as it was, but it's still there. It's still noticeably there. But I just for this to work, I gotta keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Keep tracking forward, and I gotta keep getting uncomfortable with it.
Exactly. That's what I tell people, because all the time I'll tell them, you do something uncomfortable, you realize you can do it, and your comfort zone just grew a little. And then you do something else uncomfortable and you realize, oh, I could do that too. Your comfort zone just grew a little more. And eventually you're not scared of anything, because you've taught yourself that even if I fail, nothing explodes. I don't die. It's like, I'm still okay. But now my comfort zone's bigger, and it's so big that when people go, hey, you want to try this? You're like, sure. I might avoid you for 2 months. Sure.
Oh, that was okay. I see that jab. I heard that.
But you do it, and then you do it, and it's like the next time somebody goes, dude, you want to be on my podcast? You'd be like, sure. Because you've done it, and you came out alive. So at least so far, we're not quite done yet, but it's looking good.
Great. I'm glad I can help. Yeah, because like I'm real big on that. Like I feel like people should tell their stories, man. Like you can't keep it in. You can't keep it in. You got to get it out. And I'm always ready to talk, and I talk a lot. Sometimes I should probably talk less, but then I just get all wrapped up.
Yeah, I'm an overshare. I'm a
But
total overshare.
but yeah, that works really good for me. I really like to just when somebody's feeling bad, just build them up.
Mm-hmm.
Build them up a little bit. You know what I mean? And it makes a difference. It really does. Been doing that with my wife lately too. You know, saying nice things to her, meaning it, following through with just, things. Just let her know I'm thinking about it. And that feels real good to want to do that. And it also feels real shitty to not realize that you wanted to do it, but was so unwilling to do it because you want to not deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because for a long time it was us first.
Yeah.
Me first. My addiction first. What I need to get for me first. And if there's anything left for you, you're welcome to it.
It's weird. This COVID messed people up. It was like, either they were trapped in the house and got tired of each other and ended things, or like me, like the shutdown was nice. I think I had like one beer. Didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. I started drawing again, drawing on sneakers again.
Nice.
And then I went back to work and I got all depressed again. I was like, oh man. And I'm just like, get over it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, for some of us, quarantine was, one of the best things that ever happened. And for some of us, it was, I felt really bad for the people that got clean during quarantine. However, the ones that did that, staying clean, hopefully will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because you did it.
People died.
Huh?
It's an eye opener too. A lot of people died.
Yeah.
A lot, man. And I've never witnessed. I've heard stuff in books, Black Death and all that. It's just like, we're living through a historical moment right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they were able to get clean and maintain clean time through the crazy and the isolation and everything else, it's like, hopefully it gets easier for them.
Yeah.
But I admire people that got clean during COVID. I really do. Because
yeah, it's tough out there.
Yeah, because it's not like you could just go to a meeting or go be, social with people who are like-minded, or, you basically had it, unless you did it right, where you could use that time to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people, it was just, I'm stuck with myself and I'm sitting around thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes
those are the loudest thoughts, the one when you're all by yourself.
Yep. And then we start getting good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
really great idea.
Right. And they're not so great.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you hit the 9-month mark?
What is it? Did I hit it already?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the first. I hit it already. I'm so bad.
Right, well, yay. Congratulations. A couple days late, but
yeah.
You're practically at 10 months at this point. That's really awesome. That's very cool.
That's crazy. Almost a year, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but one day at a time. Almost a year, but one day at a time.
I'm definitely not going to toot my horn on it.
Well, Carl, I'm really glad that we finally made this happen. And even with, I'm sorry, everybody, the sneezing and the allergies and the COVID, I could not believe it. But I was like, no, we're doing this. I will sneeze through it, but it's happening. But yeah, just, thanks for sharing your story and a little bit of hope with some people and your experience in different things too. We have no idea how we're going to impact somebody's life. life.
The
Lives.
story does not end there, man. It's long. You ever want another one? Let me know. I like getting that stuff off the chest. Maybe I can dive into the book a little more next time. Give you a little more
Yeah,
perspective.
absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely, you know what, when you hit your year, we'll do a follow-up. How's that?
All right, that sounds good. That sounds real good,
That'd be
actually.
really cool. And, you know, I really appreciate it. That is going to do it for us at the recovery scene. Remember to like and subscribe. And remember, addiction isn't pretty, but recovery is beautiful. And we will see you all next time.